In an interview with Ben Hogan, Nick Seitz, a Golf Digest editorial director in June of 1985, was privileged enough to get some shocking revelations into what really made Ben Hogan's swing work the way it did. Ben told Nick that in his early years on tour, he hooked the ball so badly he couldn't make a living. Ben also stated that even with a weakened grip, he would still hook the ball, and that he couldn't hit the ball high enough. In the interview, Ben told Nick that he finally found something that enabled him to stop hooking the ball and also allowed him to hit it higher. Nick thought to himself, wow. He had not heard anything about this before, only that Hogan weakened his grip to correct a slice. What was it he discovered? There followed a long, thoughtful pause by Ben. It had to do with the face of the club, Ben responded. Ben went into some details about testing it to see if it worked, and then how he tried it in a tournament situation to see if it would hold up. Of course, Ben won both tournaments he tested it in, and the rest is history. What had Hogan proved to himself with this new discovery? Again, another long pause from Ben. I rolled the face of the club open away from the ball, Ben said. That cupped my left wrist. Coming down the club was moving so fast I couldn't turn the face over and hook. I was rotating the club like a baseball bat, and the faster I could rotate it, the more distance I got. Training myself, he said, I would roll the face open as far as I could. With this technique, I could hit the ball far and straight. Wow, what an incredible tidbit of information. Let's get into the lesson to figure out how this is done.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, this is going to cover a lot of stuff because the Hogan roll is exactly what he's doing. So like if this was a baseball bat and I was, here, let's pretend there's a tee right here and I'm going to hit the bat into the tee or where the baseball would be sitting, I'd go exactly like that because again, the ball's not moving, it's on the tee, it'd be right in the center. It's really easy for me to do, okay? But what happens here is if I took that baseball bat and then came this way, this is the roll that Hogan was talking about. The bat would go like this and back into the, impact area if the ball was sitting on a tee. So it would be like this, and then I'd move it back, and then I'd move it through. So as you could see, the bat would be rolling in like this. The bat would be rolling in. So when we can understand this, what does it mean and how do we apply it to the golf swing, right? Well, it's pretty simple. We get set up and we're like, okay, the first move we have to make is you have to go in with the hands. Okay, so when the hands are going up and in, they're not going around us and to the right. They're simply just going up and in. Then from here, the hands are going to, and even while you're doing this, watch my hands, they roll. They're rolling. That's what this waggle is really all about. You know what I mean? Get that club face to roll in. You're not flipping it and coming in like this. It's just rolling up. It's rolling up and in. It's not you flipping this club inside like this. It's just up and in. And this is really the first places you're going to start experiencing where you start to get the cup. When we start to come, the hands are coming up and in like this. So a good way to do it, put your hand in front of your club and go like that. And you're gonna have it all day long. Then as you get to this point, then you wanna work, because the hands are working up and in. Now you're working under, which is gonna get this cup, okay? So you're here, hands are working up and in, you get under, and then from here, instead of going up, you want to go around. And when you go around, now you're gonna, the second this starts going around, your body is going to recenter. But a lot of people call that recentering. What the truth is, it's your body seeking balance. Think of it a different way. So all of a sudden we've gone up and in, we've gone under, and we're going on the plane. And then as we come around, we get to that point to where now we can just keep this thing coming. Because like Hogan said, he could not hit it left. Impossible. Because the rate of closure, he was not fast enough to have that thing turn over on him. Pretty simple. Now, what a lot of people don't understand, because in today's golf swing, they teach it like this. And even though this is a ball, guys, you have to imagine it being a club face. So it would line up more to, the angle of my spine, which there's no rotation in it. But the truth is, the golf club, you can ask any engineer in the world, the tool of the golf club is designed to open and to close. Open and to close. So when Hogan figured out, I can just move this like a baseball bat and have it roll open and roll close, that he could not get it to close fast enough to hit a hook. The miss is going to be a slight 5 or 6 yard little fade to the right. Because again, it's simple. We're going to go up and in, and then the left hand is going under the right to get the cup, okay? So you'd be like this, then you'd be like that, and then and the second you come around you're going to get that recentering type of move, and then you're able to just unload on this thing. Because that's what he was doing. In some of the other videos, you're going to hear me talk about a baseball bat and all these different things, because it's true. It's absolutely true. Hogan even said it to himself in that 1985 June interview. When he figured out to let the club face roll to the arc, okay? He's not letting it roll inside. It's just rolling right up the arc. It gets around his body, and then all of a sudden he's like, boom, which is, when I say boom, is the recentering move to where he gets a running start coming at the ball. It's pretty simple stuff. So when we look at it from this perspective, the hands are going like that. They're going like that. And then all of a sudden I'm going to come around, I get that move, boom. Now I can come right into the ball as hard as I want, and it's just going to put everything right there, and I will not hit it left. Let's look at this a different way. We've all seen where Hogan's at the top and it's like this. Well then, how'd he get there? He just went up and in, under with the left, around. Now, because I've gone around, my body's going to have this, innate feeling that I just want to rotate. And when I rotate, this club will come right in. It'll slot itself. This part will be up. And then I just turn the hands down. See, what rolling the club does, when you roll the club face in, what it does is it puts you into the power angles of the body. So if you stand up straight and you turn your arms out like this, this is called the carrying angle of the human body with the arms. It's also called the power angle, okay? So like a lot of people, they get here, they put it, now we're talking modern golf swing for a second, and then they pick it up like this. But when they're here, this arm is not in the carrying angle. It's like this. So then all of a sudden, they pick it up. These elbows are pointing down. And then all of a sudden, they come down. They try to get it back in front of them. Then they start turning, and that club face is so wide open that they hit the ball to the right. And I mean way to the right, okay? But when you can understand the carrying angles, now all of a sudden we're here, and that face, once it's like here and it starts going this way, it puts me in the carrying angle of the human body. So then all of a sudden, I go to the top, boom, around, I say boom because it's very exciting. I go to the top, and when I go to the top, because the club head is going this way, my body responds to that, seeking balance, and then I'm able to come through and open this stuff up. Pretty simple. So what's the best way for us to feel this? I want you to grab a book or a binder or anything right now. And I want you to put that in front of you, and it's gonna, this part will be facing up in an angle, the bottom part will be down. And then I just want you to go like this, just like that. And then from here, instead of going up to where this forearm hasn't rotated, the elbow's pointing down, I want you to go around. And when you go around, it's going to put you in this carrying angle. It's going to cup this left wrist, and then as I start to move around and come up, you'll see how this knee comes in, and then you're just like ready to go and to fire this thing. So if we take the book from here and we go like this with the correct side of the body starting the downswing, then we're just going to say, okay, from right here, turn that book this way. It's almost like turning a steering wheel. Wing, right there. You're in the power angle of the human body. So now all of a sudden you're going to rotate and get to the top, which is underneath the shoulder plane because you went around. And when you went around, you won't have these tendency where people go here and they pick it up and they lift up out of their posture. But because I'm going this way and going around, my body is able to keep me in posture. I've got the recentering or seeking balance move. Then I'm just going to come down, and then turn it. Because if I get here and I hold it, just like that, if that was a club face, ball's going to go to the right. But if I get here, turn it down, now I'm getting this good feeling on the left side. It's real easy to run out of the block and explode up into the finish. So hopefully this is going to help you. Get this book. Get a book, not this one, a book. Here, turn that thing, just like that. And then you'll get up to the top, and then you'll start to come down. Pretty simple stuff. So then, what do we want to do? Put a club in our hand, and this is a training device, guys. It's a Sure Set trainer. I've just got it extended or whatever. But then all of a sudden, we're going to go here, and it's like, okay, if I'm rolling that club face open to the arc, not flipping it, I'm rotating it open to the arc with my hands are going in. The club head is going on the arc, my hands are going in, and then all of a sudden right here, get that face to open up, and it's going to put us right there, and then we're here, come down, and the game is on, my friends. So really try to do this right. It's what Hogan was doing, period. It may not be in the book, but for those of us that are educated and we still want us trying to figure out what Ben Hogan was doing, you have to look for the information in other places besides the book. The book is a great starting point, both of them. But there are little tiny tidbits of information we can gather along the way. And when you implement this, your tendency, if you hit it left, you're doing it wrong. Period. You hit it left, you're doing it wrong. Because you can't, like Hogan said in that interview, he couldn't close the face fast enough. So what'll happen, you won't be able to either. And all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, these rotational forces are coming through. You'll come through and then you'll start learning how to square the club face up here. But your miss, the club face is going to be slightly open and it'll be a little kind of tiny fade to the right. Not a huge dynamic 40-yard block to the right, but just this tiny little soft little fade, 5 or 6 yards. You can play golf that way, but a snap hook and going left, Hogan couldn't play golf that way, which is why he started to roll the face open like you would roll a baseball bat open. Pretty simple, guys. We'll see you in the next video.